We'll be talking about trigonometry, and under which we'll be talking about the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, now for us to understand that, we have to first of all understand the triangle property. That's Pythagoras theorem applies to right-angled triangle. Now, a right-angled triangle is one that has one of its angles equals 90 degree, and this is what you use to represent 90, this sign. When you see that, you always know that we're talking about 90 degree. Okay, so let's see this as angle A, B, C, and let's draw a replica of that. Not to scale. Okay, angle A, B, and C. Okay, so let's have that. Okay, now according to Pythagoras, who was a philosopher and a mathematician, he said that the side opposite the right angle, in a right angle triangle, the side opposite the right angle is always called the hypotenuse. So if you want to look at the side opposite, just imagine the mouth of the fish forming this particular 90 degree. The side closing the mouth of the fish, or you could use the crocodile, is the hypotenuse. Pythagoras said we should always call that the hypotenuse. Okay, now if that is the hypotenuse, what should we call the other two sides? Now, the name of the other two sides changes. It all depends on the angle you are referring to, because this angle is out, so the only angle we have is A and C. Okay, so for this triangle, let's refer to this angle C. Now for angle C, the side opposite angle C, still imagine the mouth of a fish like this, and the side that closes the mouth is this. So this side opposite C is called the opposite. Now, if this is called the opposite, of course, this becomes the adjacent. Okay, now, for the same triangle, where this is 90, and we already know that this is the hypotenuse, the question is, if we are referring to this angle, where will be the opposite? Now, the opposite here, still imagine the mouth of a fish on that angle you're referring to. The side that closes the mouth of the fish is called the opposite. Of course, and the other side becomes the adjacent. Okay, now we are done with that. The next is to understand what the relationship Pythagoras created between these three sides. And this is what he said. Pythagoras says here that if this is the hypotenuse, this is the adjacent, this is the opposite, of course, he says the side opposite the right angle triangle is the longest side. The side opposite the triangle is the longest side. So it means that the hypotenuse squared, let me draw a straight line here. So it means that the hypotenuse squared is equal to the opposite squared plus the adjacent square. So what that theorem simply means is that if you draw a square if you use this line to form a square, this area of that will be equal to the sum of the square you use this line to form plus the sum of the square you use this particular line to form. So I could just simply put it as height squared equals to up squared plus height squared. So this is exactly what Pythagoras theorem is all about, just giving us the relationship between the three sides, knowing that the hypotenuse is the longest side of a right angled triangle. Okay, so let's quickly take an example. Okay, if we have a triangle like this, and this is angle 90. Always remember, angle 90 is very important. You locate that before you start talking about anything. Okay, now if this is angle 90 and say this is 5 and then this is 4 and you're trying to look for x. How do you get x? Simple. Applying the law or the theorem of Pythagoras, it says that 5 squared, which is the longest side, is equal to 4 squared plus x squared. So that means 25 is equal to 16 plus x squared. So that means if you take this over here, this over becomes 25 minus 16, and if you say 25 minus 16 over here, that means 9 equals what? X squared. So this implies that x is equal to 3. That's finding the square root of both sides. Okay, thank you for this. We'll move on to the next class. Thanks for watching.